Hi Scorpio, welcome to your end of the month reading. As always, keep in mind that this is only a general reading. Always take what it feels right and with what does resonate within your own life experiences during this time. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, please check the info of my readings. That is all down below, or email me with your questions. And if you would like to donate and support my channel, you can do that by following the PayPal link, which is also down below. And I'm going to be channeling intuitively messages coming for the collective of your sign, Scorpio, and then we'll tie it together also with the cards that will be showing up. There's something here about promises, about I swear, I swear, I swear. So I feel like there's something about promises, a theme of promises that is relevant. Either you want to ensure that you keep your promises, and this is like a little bit challenging, or you after someone's deliverance here. I do feel like there's something here that feels that you have the reasons for doing something you're doing to push someone against the corner. So you might be giving here someone an ultimatum or receiving one to see if they're gonna keep their promises or not. And I feel like many of you Scorpios are reaching this crossroads when it comes to relationships where either they do it or you do it. So this could be associated also with here a big change that needs to take place in a dynamic, or you're done, or they are done. So relationship energy is relevant. All kinds of relationships, not just, romantic sexual interactions here. I do feel like for some of you there can also be issues with business partners. For those of you that have business ties with someone, I do feel like the main theme here is that there needs to be a serious evaluation upon the quality of relationships in your life right now, the dynamics of it, and where change needs to be promoted, being in your end or in the other person's end. But will you do it or not? Will they do it or not? I keep getting like there's this big theme around that, because it feels like some of you Scorpios can't move forward and you can't go backwards until this is done, until this is settled. So you're looking for, also many of you are looking for concrete answers right now. So you're very like sharp and even intense. I keep getting this intensity coming from you. So you might really be after what you want, period. So if you have been waiting for a period of time where you feel more assertive, more action oriented towards your goals, your desires, this is the time to go after what you want, because I feel like there's this energy driving you that is facilitating that is making it easier than other times. I do feel like you have the Hermit here, so it's like you need to move out of just the reflection point and start acting upon whatever you have understood from that reflection, from that introspection. Yeah, you need to break free from something. For some of you, it's breaking free also of a sense of chronic loneliness, that it's really self-imposed. I feel like some of you have really been struggling to connect. Some of you here have been lonely or feeling lonely within your relationships, out there in the world, or just being by yourself. There's a suffering associated with loneliness that is also getting its there's this level of intensity that can be experienced, that sense of loneliness right now in the end of the month, that it's like pushing you to actually break free from it, to break free from what is causing you such a level of anguish here. Nine of Swords and the Hermit. So you're really struggling with something. Some of you are struggling with something in silence. Either you're struggling with your own loneliness or you're struggling with a specific thing. But I feel like you're very private about this, so most people might not know that you're hurting, that you're suffering with something. You could be dealing with a strong Virgo energy here also. Or there's that feeling of healing Like there's a point of crisis pushing you immediately to healing. So whatever kind of intensity again that it's experienced, and most of it can be a little bit uncomfortable, especially when it's like touching here our wounds and our insecurities. I just feel like there might be a crisis emerging that is just what you needed to be free from something you have been stuck that is really depriving you from happiness and connection itself. I also feel again the ultimatum, you could be suffering because someone is giving you an ultimatum and you don't know what to do, or because you're pushed to do that. I feel like for those of you that are going to be on this ultimatum kind of energy, I do feel like for the majority of you, the response being from you or from the outside could be still, you know, it could be still something that does not fulfill you. So I feel like for those of you, there might be a temporary, short-lived, actual, like, illusion of change, and you just might quickly see that it's not working. That's for some of you. For others of you, you might really be in a moment where you have to be honest with your limitations. You have to be honest with something that hurts. And for some of you, it's being honest about you really saying that you can't do something that others are expecting you to do. And also accepting someone's unwillingness or incapacity to give you whatever you want them to give you. It's like you're in an impossible situation for some of you Scorpios. For some of you that are in a long relationship situation, you might need to end it. Some of you, there's couples moving here through crisis, and some of you might need to end a connection that is like a long-term commitment. It's like you feel like you have to, not necessarily you need to. There's something here outside just of the wanting to make something work, but then actually understanding that it's just not possible anymore for some reason. There's something here about needing to accept the ending, or the fact that no matter how much you try or this other person tries, it's just not going to be working. It's not going to be functional for both of you. There's something here about accepting like a termination point for some. I also feel like for others of you, you just might be listening a lot to gossip right now, and you don't know what to do with the information you're receiving. Some Scorpios here are like being bombarded here with a lot of secrets. And it's like the more you hear, the less you know what to do, or the less you know what the truth is. Some of you are also struggling to understand what to do with what you're being told, with the information you're receiving. 7 of Wands. Yeah, you're very defensive right now. You have a very defensive approach about everything during this last days of the month, and into February you're really like resorting to this defense mechanism to avoid the outside, to have a real peek into your vulnerabilities. It's like you don't want to be there's something about your privacy that you don't want it to be seen, to be shown. So you can be really, really mindful of, you know, of your privacy right now, where you go, the pictures you take, you know, the information you also put out there. It's like you're very selective about this for some reason. Others of you, this is about you don't want interference because you're already going through enough. So when someone is trying to actually come into your life right now, you might not you might not give anyone a chance. And again, the fact that you're hurting might also be about the fact that you want connections, but you can't let your guard down, Scorpio. So pay attention to a tendency or a mechanism here that prevents you from actually getting what you want, which is support, warmth, connection here. I also feel that, again, you're being bombarded, as I said, so you're receiving a lot of information, but it's tense because you don't know what to do with it. So some of it will feel like it really rubs you the wrong way for some reason. And in other cases, I feel like it's just the fact that you wish you were not, holding that information for some reason. You wish you didn't know. There's something coming to you, or lots of things coming to you that you wish you didn't knew, or you wish you didn't saw, because you already, many of you are already going through something a little bit sensitive here. And so having to deal with more outside of that can be tricky. Now, I also feel like there's something here about this energy pushing you to fight, to not just, sit around with your pain and, settle by that, settle with that. Like in this web, in this dark web of loneliness and suffering and anxiety, and just accept that this is who you are or how your life has to be. The Seven of Wands will push you to move outside of that, to fight, all right, to fight for more, because you deserve it. And I feel also that there's something here about you feeling like you don't deserve something, or that you can't get to something you really want without even, really trying. There's something here about you. Some of you Scorpios, you need to, it's like you break free from the illusion here of the mind that it's really entrapping you into this feeling of hopelessness, like I can't do something, I can't get towards something. But then make this real evaluation. Have you even tried? Have you tried? Have you really done enough to get you to that point, or to that goal, or to that, situation you want to encounter? Because for many of you have been so in isolation mode, so protective here of your own, again, privacy or your own self, so closed off that it kind of gives me the feeling that maybe you have this disempowering belief that you can't, but it's a sabotage energy, because you have not even actually tried to do it, move towards it. And I feel like no matter how uncomfortable it gets, actually what I feel here is like you need to have it uncomfortable right now, because otherwise you would really sink deeper into whatever this depression, negative space is. So I hope you have a great end of the month. I want to thank all of you that are listening, supporting, donating, commenting here, liking this video. Please keep doing so, and hopefully we'll see each other soon.